In this podcast, we will hear the story of Bobo by Janusz Korczak. Korczak wrote in Polish, and this is an English translation by Mark Silverman. Read by Chris Odrowąż-Coates.
Bobo by Janusz Korczak. Bobo is getting on a bit. He already has 4 upper and 2 lower teeth. He weighs in at 23 pounds and is, according to his mother, the cleverest Bobo in the entire world. His father reckons Bobo is dumb as a boot. Bobo's mother is so proud of him. It is as though he is her own, previously undiscovered invention, which must be patented, numbered, and passed on for further exploitation to a consortium of American capitalists. Other women may have had other Bobos, but this one is totally unique, greatly improved, inimitable, and quite unlike any other Bobo in the world. Yes, indeed, Bobo is getting old. Little Bobo, with his 6 teeth and 26 pounds of weight, has already been through so much that his past could be the subject of a multi-volume novel. No one would feel like reading a long novel about Bobo, and what of it? But nor would anyone want to publish it. So I decided to write just a short story about Bobo. Turn the lamp down and read slowly, in a whisper, as I tell you of a prehistoric time in the life of Bobo, an ancient time full of mystery and wonder. And thus it was. Thus it was when God separated light from darkness, hung the stars out, each in its place in the firmament, and tied them together with a gossamer web of gravity. Thus it was when worlds emerged from chaos. Or maybe they did not emerge just yet. Maybe they existed only as a thought, or perhaps not even that. Colours and sounds drifted aimlessly. Voices of universe were but insubstantial shadows and feelings, merest vapour trails, randomly swirling and coalescing together. And each particle, crossing or indifferently passing alongside another like it, or not quite like it, lived only in and for itself. But wait, it did not live yet, as life had not begun. It did not wander, as there was no motion, nor were there space and time. A moment amounted to a millennium. A kilometre shrank and fractured and expanded again 100 or 1,000-fold. There was nothing. Only the future might have existed, had there been a question or a premonition about its existence. And yet, a mighty voice will resound and command the scattered atoms to unite and bond together, relinquishing the self. A lightning strike will flash and drops of rain appear, and then a fragile crystal, a mystery above all others. Life. Is life that which forbids dispersed atoms to pass each other indifferently, commanding them to unite in prescribed patterns into universal micro-constellations such as only penetrating human thought can inhabit? There will be plant life. It will begin with slender, white fungus threads, and oaks will cast down their seeds from which their sons will grow. Once they themselves succumb to decay or are riven in two by the lightning of a thunderbolt. There will be life. There will be man who will seek to solve the mystery of life, himself a mysterious being. There will. Meanwhile, there is only a mystical night, pregnant with unfathomable mysteries, with as yet unimagined miracles. There will. Even at the lightning strike moment of his conception, Bobo is already a wonder of wonders. Bobo is the name I give the infant to whom I devote this tale. They say Bobo does not exist yet, that he is yet to come. He does not feature in any parish register. No one has seen him, not even his mother. They are waiting for his arrival. Yet he has been around for a long time. His heart has already begun the work that will be without end. Work which his heart will pass on to the heart of his son and that of his grandson and great-grandson after him, just as it has been passed to Bobo's heart by the heart of his father and grandfather and great-grandfather before him. You say that Bobo, who does not exist yet, is a few weeks or months old. You are right, yet also mistaken. He exists purely for himself. He knows not your clock or your calendar. Bobo has always been and already is. And you are mistaken for another reason. It's not as if Bobo has been around for some prescribed period of months of human existence. No, he was there, scattered, suspended in billions of specks of dust over the universe. He was there at the time when the call rang out, "Down with the Bastille!" He was there when the people advanced, wave upon wave, to wrest the desecrated tomb of the Saviour from the grasp of the infidel, when the laurel wreath was lowered upon the head of great Sophocles, when slaves, whipped by their oppressors, raised the proud tombs of the pharaohs, and earlier still, waiting 10,000 years before he was to emerge from the mists of time on the appointed day of his birth. Bobo lived in the muscle of a polar bear in the far north and in the evergreen palm leaf in the scorching south. Ah, what a journey did Bobo undertake before the very first beat of his heart. Bobo has been around from the very beginnings of time. He lived in the plasma of a single-celled amoeba. He dwelled in the chaos from which God created stars, which he scattered across the heavens and secured with invisible threads of interdependence, arranged them into stellar patterns. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Bobo's heart is beating. Muffled, quiet, monotonous murmur, and an endless pathway of thought. Diapers are being prepared for the imminent arrival of Bobo. An aunt leaned over the pram, and her eyes met the serious, searching gaze of Bobo. "A beautiful baby," says the aunt to the mother. "He has your mouth and your husband's eyes." She leaned down a little further and kisses Bobo, and he shuddered in fright. The aunt felt embarrassed by the kiss, and the fright it caused Bobo. "Poor little thing," says the aunt. "Your mind is still unconscious." Bobo's mind unconscious? There is not a human mind at any stage of its life that is as consciously alert as Bobo's is at that moment. If the human mind was always so unconscious, its thoughts would soar and the universe would fear for its secrets. Bobo's mind is silently exerting an enormous effort, and it is different today from what it was yesterday. If you stand in the machinery pavilion at a universal exposition, the shaking, rumbling, dizzying speed of the wheels will take your breath away, but it's as nothing compared to the work of millions of motors, wheels and communications of Bobo's brain. Bobo is looking and thinking in the most mysterious and vivid of languages, a language without words, a language of images and fragments of images, common to all Bobos in the world and to all living beings. Bobo is gathering and sorting impressions. He is populating his spiritual communication center, creating building blocks for the magnificent symbolic edifice of human language, in which every image has its own sound and its own soul, whether good or evil, beloved or reviled. Bobo feels sadness, joy, surprise. He consumes, he questions, he desires. Bobo ties the flimsy threads of memories of an hour ago with the dreams of yesterday and weaves them into the fabric of night in which God scattered stars in the firmament. In a flash, Bobo races across centuries and millennia of the evolution of human thought. Soon he will overtake the swiftest of animals, and still, physically unsteady and helpless, will begin to fraternize with the genius of mankind. Let us talk a while, Bobo. Sunlight kisses your sweet, dear little head. Your look tells me you are now a human being. I feel for you, you poor thing, for there is no greater misfortune than that of being born a human being. Why, if you had come to life, could you not have been a flower? Why were you not a butterfly? Why not the chick of a forest bird? The higher, the sadder. Humans crave knowledge. Bobo, if only you knew how much pain awaits you in the search for reasons, goals, paths and directions. How much pain. Do you believe, Bobo, that once upon a time, or rather do you think that one day? But enough, I will say no more. Oh, you're frowning. Oh, don't cry, Bobo. Small things will befall you, not worth crying about. Great wrongs will come, but you will have forgotten to cry, and the generations pass. They pass. You are smiling, Bobo. Do you not believe me? You are right. You must walk that road alone. You should not trust anyone. You are right. Now, turn on many lights and read in a loud and triumphant voice, Bobo is now a human being. And it happened so quickly and so naturally. Who awakened thought in Bobo's mind, now fluttering on its maiden flight above the meadows of life, so bright, so sonorous, basking in the dazzling hymn of sunrise? Bobo's thought, you are like the calm surface of a lake, now ruffled by a breeze, trembling with the broken reflections of those who bend over you lovingly. So many stars in the firmament, here is another. So many trees in the wood, here is one more sapling sprouting from a seed. And here is another, tiny, innocent voice, weaving its song into the chorus of the forest. Nature knows no rest, spurred on to create by the might of an invisible hand. Driven by creative inspiration, she miraculously fashioned a small human being. Nature's muse has the power of the Titans and the conscience of saints. She will scatter mountain ranges in chaotic disarray, glaze every recess with dew, then embellish with moss, whose every stalk lives and rejoices and believes. A work of art, the product of human toil, by misleading the eye belies nature. Break a statue, and you'll only have rubble left, meaningless, empty fragments, broken debris. But dissect the tiniest sliver of the shiny nail at the end of Bobo's pink finger and reveal a microscopic world of beautiful new images. Even if blood did not course through Bobo's delicate veins, flowing by rivulets and rivers towards the sea, the heart, even if sensations did not flow through the rivers of Bobo's nerves towards the sea, the brain, even if he did not have the miraculous potential of growth, he would still be 1,000-fold more complete than all the works of dead art hung in the shadowy galleries of a priceless museum. And still people come in droves from all corners of the world to admire them, cracked and faded, laboriously fashioned and refashioned and perfected in the sweat of long hours, catalogued, venerated, and given a market price. But you, Bobo, you are priceless. Everyone is smiling at Bobo. I imagine an old oak tree smiling a green, bowed smile at the funny sight of a small oak tree with its tiny leaves, babbling in a soft whisper, safe and cheerful in the shadow of his father's branches. So many dead cells in the vast and still vigorous body of the old oak tree, its branches and roots so slow of the weary flow of juices through its veins. And the little oak, eagerly drinking the blood of Mother Earth, is nourished and grows and grows and grows. I think that every bird has a smile ready for its young, since, like a blue mist, full of tendering, trembling goodwill towards future generations, surrounds all that greets tomorrow in his small and helpless but compelling stirrings. Even grave old sun, the nourisher, will find a smile for the lily of the valley, and the lily of the valley will answer him with the trembling of its white petals and with pure fragrance. Bobo answers smile with a smile, not because he understands it, not because he knows the tender language of smiles, but because it has been thus for hundreds of thousands of years, that today greets tomorrow tenderly, and tomorrow answers gently, that this smile flows across thousands of generations and binds the bleached bones of pagan burial grounds and Bobo with familial bonds, bonds which will flow through infinity, since this smile is the link in the chain of generations. Just as the first instinctive breath must precede Bobo's conscious life, there will be no life without it. So the first smile precedes thought, which would not exist without it. Your mother is smiling at you, Bobo, not minding that each day of your growth is a day of her fall, that your every breath, your every heartbeat is a step forward for you and a step backwards for her. Bathing. Bobo made a new discovery. Apart from his hands, he also has legs, 2 distant continents. Might it be that blanket, pillow, whole bed are also part of Bobo? And so, strenuous search resumes. Careful revision of accepted truths, rejections of ill-considered assumptions. Ignorabimus. Ignorabimus. Bobo is standing on his own. He triumphs. Bobo, Bobo, how terrifying the trust with which you are stepping into life.